Hello, welcome everybody. How are we all doing? Welcome back to Monday's stream. Hope you all had a great weekend. We've got some great stuff to look at today. We have got Justin joining us as well. He's just going to be about 5 minutes or so he won't be long. And we do have a Red Joe. Do make sure you do drop me a like on the stream, please. Afternoon, Wiz. Afternoon, Veggie Man. Yes, Steve-O. Hello. Yes, Scotty, how we doing? Yeah, big up everyone who's joined so far. And we do have him in. He's in. How we doing? You okay?
Yeah, not bad.
Very good.
That's all, Dave. You?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Yeah, I'm loving it. Let me just turn this down a little bit. I'll turn it down just a tad. Got some new background music on today. We've got a track called Vlog Music Beat Trailer Show Wheel something. Don't know what it is, but it sounds pretty funky. Yeah. Is it too loud? Maybe you need to turn it down a bit more. I don't know.
Nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
You're good.
Oh, we got Listy in. How we doing, Listy? Bonjour, my French friend. Hello to you. As in where? Hello to you as well. Yeah, how was your weekend, mate? Did you have a good one?
All right, not bad. The sun was shining.
Yeah, it's been. Hang on.
The newfound only really trading crypto, not crypto, only trading gold for the most part, means I don't have to trade at the weekend anymore. I'm not even tempted to look at the charts at the weekend.
I forgot. Let me just. There we go. I forgot to plug my mic in. I wasn't even using my mic, but there we go. I'm on the mic now, so hopefully the audio is a little bit better. Yeah. What did we get? When was this sell-off? It was Sunday, wasn't it? Yeah. So yeah, there wasn't really much going on Saturday at all, and then it started slipping, didn't it? Sunday morning, and then obviously that slipped down into the evening.
It looks miserable, Dave, is what I would say.
Yeah, well, I actually started accumulating Aero this morning. I thought I'm just going to go in with it. Just going to go in gung-ho. So yeah, I've been buying up Aero. Speaking to Wiz before, obviously that's a personal Wiz favourite.
Yeah.
So yeah, started accumulating Aero.
Well, if I'm putting my bullish pants on, which I don't mind doing, I think we might have seen the weekly low. We might start pushing up.
Yeah, well, my thinking is this is what I was targeting originally. I kind of wanted like a slip back into sort of these levels. And then I was just sat there and I was thinking, yeah, maybe we get, maybe there is another 10, 15, 20% drop on it. But then I was looking at it and I was like, the upside on it, is potentially, a good few X. So I just thought, I'm just going to go in now. Maybe it goes down another 10, 15, 20%. Maybe it does. But, the upside on it, I'm happy to take the risk reward on that. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we do get another drop on Bitcoin and I lose some on this short term. But I'm pretty happy with going in now. And yeah, fundamentally, I think this is probably one of the better projects out there. I've done a lot of looking into it since obviously Wiz told me about it.
Yeah.
And obviously for being the main DEX on base, I think it probably sets it up for maybe a decent run in an event of bullish markets. So yeah, that's what I've been doing recently. Apart from that, not been doing much. But yeah, I started accumulating a nice bag of this.
What's your thoughts about the market in general, Dave?
Well, I was thinking maybe a push down on this. Obviously, my stream last night was mostly focused on looking at lower levels in the event that we do get a push down. But
yeah,
I don't know. I think I'm at the point now where it kind of, if we do get another drop, great. If not, I'm kind of happy to take the hit now in terms of risk reward. on alts anyway, on decent alts.
Yeah.
If we do get another drop down, so be it. But I think I'm kind of happy to position here from broadly speaking. What about you?
Well, I'm still waiting for dominance to kind of shit the bed at some point, because that's what's killing the market at the moment. I think you can fully make sense, like we've been saying for weeks now, and you can make sense of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's the altcoins that are just shocking.
Yeah.
And so my triggers are still gold, as you know, and dominance, kind of the two keys, I think, that unlock everything.
Yeah.
And I think gold probably gets the trigger for that is going to be Ukraine, Russia, would be my guess. I mean, there seems to have been a bit of a sell-off this morning. If I was, don't know if it's recovered yet, but the pre-market of the SPX looks horrendous.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Our good friend Block Pro posted about it this morning, about gold, obviously. Sharing your thoughts that you've been talking about, the last good couple of weeks on stream.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd get it up because obviously, something that he commented on. We'll just say that he stole that from you for now. We'll just say he stole it from you. He's been watching the stream the past couple of weeks, hasn't
he? He's in the chat, so I can see him in the chat saying, ask him what Justin dominance is indicating.
Yeah. We'll just say that he stole that from you. He stole the gold idea from you from watching the stream the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I genuinely think that it's if you look at gold on the weekly, well, the daily definitely, it's now flipped bearish. If you look at the changed character,
yeah.
The pullback that we had last week was not that we want to talk too much about Fibonacci and Elliott wave and stuff like that, but it has pulled back to bang on the 786 on the fib. So I would not be surprised if we continued down. And when I was measuring the move this morning, we could drop down to 2,805, but then we've got further levels to drop from there. Depends whether it's what kind of correction it is, but it looks poised to potentially start dropping down. But I do think that the narrative, I think, could be the Ukraine-Russia thing.
Yeah,
potentially. So.
Yeah, and that seems like it's potentially getting ever more close as well, doesn't it?
Yes.
That seems like that is just a matter of when, not if.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you look at the SPX as well, that was clinging on for dear life on Friday.
It's down, isn't it, as well? Futures
on the 200 moving average, I think it was, on daily.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
So it's clinging on for dear life for there.
That was the first test as well since October 23. That was the first test in nearly a year and a half.
Yeah. So if that drops, the next level of support I have is all the way down to about 5,400.
Okay.
So
down into here.
That's another like 6%, 6.5% down.
Yeah.
And then 5.2-ish probably as well. But I don't think it's going to go much deeper than that. I would say about 5. If it holds this moving average here, then you want to see a reaccumulation and move up. And it's if you look at the Bitcoin chart, it's very, very similar. The correlation being on on the moving average where it's kind of sitting on day, or we've actually lost it on the daily. There's part of me that goes to the downside on Bitcoin. Yes, you can see an argument for it. And you've got the CME gaps close, you've got the retested breakout, you've got the 2021 all-time high. So there's lots of obvious places to kind of hit. But are we going to get that? I think we either get an absolutely mega liquidation and down well into the 60s, maybe even lower, or we might go up here. So if you look on the total one chart.
Well, just looking at that as well, Bitcoin's trying to recover it, and it lost the 200 moving average yesterday. And it's pressing it now. That's where it's obviously finding resistance at the moment. So maybe we recapture that today. I don't know. But what do you want me to look at? The total one chart?
So you go total one. So, and go on the weekly. So the two levels I had marked out on the closes was the 2021 high, and then the weekly closes from March 24.
I got that.
We closed on there now, basically on that March 21 high, 24 high. So scenario one for me is we accumulate here for a few days and then we move up. That's possible. That's bullish scenario one. Scenario two, we lose this level of support, or we accumulate here and then impulse out. You would have probably seen my chart from the other where I sent it over the last weekend to you. So we accumulate here and then we break out to the upside. That's scenario one. Scenario two is we accumulate here, lose support, retest the weekly fair value gap down to about 2.4 trillion, and then V-shaped recovery out of that, and then overside retest the accumulation phase where we're probably going to be in now. Or scenario three is we don't hold this level of support today, we drop down, accumulate at that fair value gap on around 2.4 trillion and then go up. And then scenario four is no level of support holds and it just nukes. And I know that's probably Mr. Block Pro would be enjoying that potential scenario. But they're my three probable scenarios right now. I don't know what you think about it, but it would make sense from a price action standpoint. I mean, it's good that it came in and filled this wick in as well from the week before. You know, that's already been filled in now as well as it's come down to this level. So that's cool. I don't know. I didn't actually look at the Bitcoin weekly as well. Bitcoin.
That's a big old weekly candle, that, isn't it, to the downside? Maybe. I mean, in terms of candle size, maybe, I was going to say maybe it's just bigger than these from back in May 21, maybe just. But it's definitely one of the biggest ones ever. Looking at it size-wise.
There was. It was May 21. There was a decent size weekly candle, I think it was.
These two were quite big. But maybe that is the biggest one ever. Maybe just. But definitely. Interesting.
I'd say from a total standpoint, we are, and then because what I've been doing a lot over the last few months is actually looking at the total charts and then trying to gauge the percentage moves in relation to where Bitcoin will probably need to move to. And to me, this is a logical place to accumulate now, reaccumulate. If it doesn't, then we've got one of the other scenarios to play out, but it would make sense to me.
Definitely looks like it makes sense.
And to me, the probably most to get real strength. If you go to the old Wyckoff kind of charting, you'll be in that accumulation phase, and then you'll get the manipulation into demand, and then it probably goes into supply first, then down into the demand, and then you get the impulse out.
Yeah.
But it looks to me that from a weekly close, we might have bottomed as a weekly close, but we may still get a liquidation to the downside.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting in it. And obviously this week we've got a couple of key things coming up. We've obviously got CPI on Wednesday, and then PPI on Thursday. Then obviously the week after we've got FOMC.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see, obviously, the reaction and the results on this for this week, particularly obviously on SPX as well, because that has been correcting on it. Obviously, this potentially maybe if it closes red, the fourth weekly candle, the fourth red weekly candle in a row. Which how far back would we have to go to see that? Probably maybe here.
20.
Maybe April 22. Maybe obviously there was 3 there, but can't see 4 anywhere else.
It's not just the fact that you've got potential 4 weekly candles. It's the size and strength of those candles, which shows it's a deeper sell-off. So you might actually get a deeper correction. But I think somewhere between 5.2, 5.4 is the kind of number to watch for. Yeah,
and obviously that's probably alongside Bitcoin falling out of this range is the potential risk to it, and it is just being dragged down along for the ride.
The whole market is in correction phase, right?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what it is. Whether it's the S&P, whether it's the European stocks. So if you look at the DAX and stuff like that, they were performing quite well last week. So you was getting rotation clearly from the US stocks into other indices. But even they are getting dragged down as well, I think, now. So it's Stonksy's red on the weekly on NVIDIA.
Yeah, it's been been green since the start of 23. I'm just going to have a look at the Mag 7. Obviously, we've got NVIDIA down a couple more points pre-market. Apple's down a couple of points pre-market. I'm guessing they all are, judging by what we're seeing. Yeah. Not seeing one of them that's up so far. Tesla's down. Yeah, so they're all down. Mag 7 are all down a couple of points pre-market.
Well, Tesla's clearly, in my opinion, ahead once again of the other Mag 7. Deeper correction.
Yeah.
It's some of that sales, some of it's narrative based. But yeah, it's quite funny to see the manipulation. But I saw yesterday, I can't remember where it was, that one of the potential theories of why they're trying to destroy the dollar is, I think there is, in the next couple of months, there's something like $7 trillion of government bonds that come up.
All right, okay.
And obviously, if they drive the rates down by devaluing the dollar, then when they're refinancing it and selling off their bonds, they're going to get a better rate for it. But yeah, DXY it's all good. If you just purely look at the charts, the DXY was so strong in the run up to the elections.
Yeah,
and it was, unless it was really going to eat into other or highs, make new highs. It was always going to be a case of the dollar was going to start getting weakened, and it very much appears that way.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that; it went up for over 3 months in a row, bar 1 week.
Yeah.
It started, that was week beginning 30th September, and it took to week beginning 13th of January before, obviously, the trend started to change. Apart from this 1 week in November, it was just green, 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 green.
Well, you look at the most liquid pair that there is, which is the Euro US dollar, and put it on the monthly, and you can see that it was always gonna chuck it on the monthly, Dave.
Oh, hang on. There we go.
And then scroll right out, and you can see it was kind of getting to a point where it needed to, unless it obviously going to really lose levels of support and drop right down.
Yeah.
It was getting to a phase where it was going to probably bounce.
Yeah.
And we may even this month get that change of character. And then start rallying back up again. But a lot of the US pairs are in the same situation.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? Yeah, it's interesting because obviously we don't look at too much FX over on this channel, but it's always good to look up and see what's going on over there.
But the thing is, it just gives you a good marker of the overall of what else is going on in the world. That's kind of actually, I trade anything and everything, so I look at this stuff all the time anyway.
Yeah.
But you can kind of see that it was in that phase where it should weaken the dollar. And then I also think if the M2 money supply, I also believe is starting to go bullish as well. Or go up, which means the money printers are on, which is obviously.
Yeah, Bitcoin follows that extremely closely, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, this is interesting, isn't it? I mean, I remember mapping this out. I mean, GBP up bar, obviously, when Liz Truss just completely had the arse fall out of the pound. It just literally just trades in this range, doesn't it? For years, going back nearly 10 years now.
Yeah.
And then, you could split that in half. You could split it about there. So then you'd have one range at the bottom, one range at the top.
Yeah.
And, it just keeps bouncing, doesn't it? Anytime it comes anywhere near.
He's had that liquidation. It's kind of regained support. So the logical next step is going to retest the range highs, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then this is where the British Empire retakes over America.
That's when Dave comes to power.
This is where we go over to America and seize it again and start building up the British Empire again.
So maybe you could be the answer to Elon Musk for the UK.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. In saying that, there's actually, while you've just touched on that, there's been like a big kickoff inside the Reform Party, hasn't there? Over the past few days, I think between is it Farage and Rupert Lowe? I think.
Yeah.
I seen is that's his name, isn't it? Rupert Lowe. Yeah. He tweeted out. Did you see before that? Apparently, someone's trying to get this narrative going that he's got dementia. I'm guessing it's Farage. So it seems like there's a big shift going on there now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't really want to completely say these words, but a new world order is coming about, and I think a lot of what Trump says, everyone takes it a bit too literal, in my opinion. It's more what's he trying to achieve out of saying the things that he does, and it's a lot of it's a negotiating tactic, and he's just like the front man for to deliver the message of what's probably really going on.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? That's it.
Anyway, should we talk market, Dave?
Yes. Well, actually, I'll tell you what we'll do, because we've obviously got US Open in 30 minutes now, haven't we? Because the American clock's changed. So I will just set the poll. So if everyone wants to get the votes in, we can do the poll now, because obviously we've got a couple of weeks until we get British summertime. We've got a couple of weeks, haven't we, of half one open. So I will go over and I will do that now, and then we can get the poll going for today.
Yeah.
Let's get that on. And then, yeah, we'll carry on looking at the market. Let's start a poll. So do make sure you get your vote in. Let's see what everyone's thinking today. Up and then down. There we go. So the poll's in. So do make sure you go and vote on that. Let's see what we're getting into the open. Reshared screen. And then, yeah, interesting formation on the monthly candle so far, isn't it? Obviously, we're only 10 days into March. There's still time to save it. But, yeah, it's looking interesting.
Therefore, Dave, how about this one? There's a question.
Go on.
Is it red or green candle for the month of March?
I think it closes green.
Do you?
I do.
I'm actually going to agree with you.
Yeah, I think it closes green. I think, yeah, because I'm still in two minds whether we get this gift down here. I still see this as like a gift. Obviously, I think we will liquidate anyone trying to just have a limit order in the 70s and probably come down. I mean, this is the origin of it, isn't it? This was, the origin of the impulse. So probably 69, but then we obviously do have Sailor's entry as well, which would be, that could easily be done in a 1 minute candle just to tag that. That would be quite funny.
Do you think too much emphasis gets put on Michael Saylor?
Yeah.
I hear and see it so much. And I think I was listening into one of the town halls that Jordan was doing the other day in the CSE. And I think it's one of those big narratives that is, again, I think it's put out there as almost like a smokescreen. Not to again go too tin hat with things, but it's just everyone focusing on it. Like, it's just boring now.
Well, the thing is, he doesn't even have an effect on the market, does he? Really now, like, he doesn't really move the market himself. Like, yeah, you could argue with the amount that he bought in this range, he was obviously probably holding it up a little bit on his own.
Yeah.
Because obviously he bought something ridiculous like 13 billion in this range. So, if people were selling 13 billion, then obviously the chart would have had to go maybe a bit earlier than it did if his buying pressure wasn't there. But yeah, I think it is just one of them in it where it's just easy to mention him and stuff like that. But it doesn't really have, when we can see this, for instance, today, this was put an hour ago. They're going to raise another 21 billion. Well, going to try and raise another 21 billion. And it doesn't have any effect on the market, does it? What did we get as a reaction? We didn't get any reaction. I think he is, yeah. It's just it's just like a discussion point in it more than anything. Like, it doesn't really do anything to the market now. Obviously, I think it would if it started going the other way.
Yeah.
If it started going the other way, then I think that we'd see much more of a market reaction and fear and stuff like that if price was going the other way and his entry was going further down. But yeah, I think it's just one of them things in it. Like, he's never going to stop buying, and the market kind of knows that. So I think for as long as the high time frame is in an uptrend, I think it just carries on going. He'll just obviously be around, won't he, and stuff like that. And then eventually, when the market starts to turn and stuff like that, it'll happen where it happened in 2022 when he starts getting called crazy and, he's on the front page of stuff, but in a negative way.
He will be a fall guy at some point. I've got no doubt about that. But
yeah, you can see it, can't you? You can see it. I mean, I do find it interesting to talk about him and stuff like that. But I mean, me personally, would I want him to get blown up? The only reason I'd want him to get blown up would be so Bitcoin goes back down here, and then that's obviously a good buying opportunity. Then, apart from that, I really have no interest in MicroStrategy or him
But the thing is, for the most part, so I've looked into their shareholders and some of the debt that they've raised to buy stuff. It's not like tin pot kind of organisations that have just been lending in money. It's the usual suspects that are doing it, and there is no way they are just gonna lend money knowing it's gonna fall on its arse. In my opinion. But so my view of Bitcoin, for what it's worth, is, and if you want me to put my chart up, I will.
Yeah, mate, go for it. Yeah. Just to answer your question, NL, US market opens in 24 minutes.
24
so yeah, for a couple of weeks. Well, I don't know where you are in the world, but the US's clocks have changed. So most likely it will be an hour earlier, unless your clocks have changed as well over the past couple of days. And then obviously you'll have to readjust whenever your clocks change again, in whenever it may be, if your clocks do change. I'll stick your screen up now, mate.
Go on, mate.
Hang on. Let me just stop sharing my screen. What's going on? Why is it not coming up? Hang on. There we go.
There we go.
That's.
Gosh.
There we go. There we go. We're on now.
We're on. So, obviously, I've got all these labels for all manner of crap here. Now, to me, clearly got this range here as a level to gain, as a daily close. So that's worthwhile looking at. Got the 200 moving average here. I think there's a CME gap, and I'm not overly bothered about them, to be honest with you, at the moment. So could this be liquidation and then retest the liquidation, and then we're going to get like the move out here?
Mm-hmm.
Probably my first bullish scenario. Again, looking towards total 2 of what might happen. Now, to me, the safest place to probably long is getting up here, because the clear level of support. This area here is just a bit of an anomaly in my eyes.
Yeah.
And then on the 4 hour, again, you've got this kind of range here to kind of as a gain. So knowing that we've got the 200 moving average here, I'm wondering if we gain here, whether we just accumulate in this range, liquidate here, drop back down into demand, and then make a run at this level here, which is also that you've got your 200 moving average on the 4 hour there as well.
Yeah.
That would probably be, if I was going to guess, I would say that's highly probable that this is what comes next.
Yeah.
And probably, if this plays out, sometime this week we potentially impulse out the range.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if we don't gain this level and we can't get above here, then we are going to bleed down here.
Yeah.
And this comes back down to that kind of the same thing on the total chart. So scenario 1, we accumulate, then push up. Scenario 2, we accumulate, V shape, and then out.
Mm-hmm.
Scenario 3, we can't gain here, we drop down, accumulate, and then go up.
Yeah.
They're the 3 probabilities, I would say. But given where it's such a clear area to get above on both the daily and 4 hour, then accumulate in here and then drop back into demand, and then rip up. That's, I would say, that's a relief rally. Is if I was going to bet on anything, that's what I'd be betting on right now.
Yeah,
that's Justin with his bullish pants on.
So are you bullish in terms of going back up and testing obviously the range low, which is now flipped to resistance, or in terms of this being kind of the fake out before we reclaim the range, and then you reclaim a range, you then start looking towards the highs, don't you?
Well, again, it's pretty clear to me that this box here is, we haven't closed in here. Obviously, the candles went through there. Yeah. And you can still see it's still a highly liquid area. So what was acting as support here, this is the fake out to me. Yeah. What happened here? This still demonstrates of where all the liquidity really sits on this chart. Yeah. And if this happens and push up, then you probably want to see another accumulation here before you push to the highs. And then you would be into, right, where do we go kind of from there? Somewhere around there. Obviously, what happens then up here? Again, you can see the liquidity, very, very easy to see the level to gain on the daily. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we do get up here, that we kind of come back down and then something like that and probably break out the range. Yeah. And again, looking at historically, we're getting very, very close timing-wise to when the breakouts should be, or where the move up should be. So I'm going bullish at the moment, but on the bullish scenario very much depends on gaining. First of all, this box here on the 4 hour, and then the daily here, accumulate in that range, and then because we're not going to break through the daily moving average at the first attempt. Because I was really surprised, to be honest with you, when we came down and went straight through it. Yeah, I'm surprised we closed below it on the first attempt. Then it was holding again as support, and then we just completely lost it again. So I would say this is probably attempt 1 at claiming it, and then losing it. Attempt 2, maybe we gain above. But I would say this area here, as the safest way to probably open up this area here is to close above 92,000 or 91 to 92,000 on daily.
Yeah, you have to reclaim it, don't you? You have to reclaim that range for us to go up there. And it's probably where there's going to be a big fat sell wall at the moment.
Yes.
So we either push through it, or whoever's got it lifts them, or whatever. But you need to. There's no doubt you have to go through it. It's just a fact, isn't it?
I'm semi thinking that we get some kind of, I don't know what the hell it will be, but some left field, not even left field, but some positive news in the next 14 days. Not crypto related, just something that makes the world a better place and gives people a bit more confidence, and then we might see the impulse out. So what we now, we've got 15 minutes to go. So in theory, we're above the POC on the daily. So you're then looking at the next level. So we'll probably take out, we've already taken the Asia session high. So you'd probably be looking here as probably liquidations.
Yeah, and that would pretty much be in line with closing the CME gap as well if it goes.
And also, funny enough, this little drop off here is exactly where that's the 200 moving average. So that's my blue line. And where's the CME gap sit, Dave? On the top side?
86,420.
6,420.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is up here. So
yeah, so it all lines up, doesn't it?
Yeah. And unless we're going to really nuke, I don't see the. If we really nuke and go down, then unfortunately we're going to go down pretty. It's going to be pretty grim.
Yeah.
But you've got this. I think the CME gap to the downside is still open, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there's like a third of it still left to close. So there's still a little bit to close on it.
Is it still this bit here? Does that look quite right?
Yeah. So there's still a couple of $100 or a K or whatever to still close on it.
So
but it's mostly closed, but yeah, still a little bit open.
27,390-ish, something like that.
Yeah.
Is there any questions in the chat whilst we're waiting?
I think there is. We got one from Lee saying, "Have you seen the massive liquidity band on Bitcoin in the 72K region?" Yeah.
Was that heat maps?
It will be, yeah. And then also, can you get liquidated on the Stonksy bot? No, you can't. It's got a stop loss implemented on it for each trade that it takes. So no, you can't get liquidated on it. No.
I never used heat maps, so I don't really know what's what.
No, I find them interesting to look at, but I do think probably there's an element of bait into them.
Absolutely.
So I think they are interesting to look at, but I think there's definitely an element where it's tied in to try and get people to trade into a region, and then obviously then it just completely just goes and trades against everyone trying to trade into where it shows liquidity. There's no doubt in my mind that there's definitely an element of trying to.
It's just baiting, isn't it?
People, yeah, it's just baiting people into trying to do it.
The thing is, a lot of the time people will go, right, we look at the heat maps and stuff like that. But you can see where the liquidity sits, because from this run-up from the 4th of November, not one of these candles has been retested. So I don't need a heat map to go where does the liquidity sit. A lot of that stuff, I don't even think it's actual liquidations. I think it is expected liquidations before people, but you can then add margin, obviously, to positions and stuff like that to kind of avoid being liquidated. So I think it's a load of cock, personally. Excuse my language. And you can see, because obviously, from this standpoint, soon you've had this run up, to allow this to happen, exchanges have provided the opposite side to the run up. So from this run up, the exchanges are all in massive deficits because they've provided the sell to the buyers. So this is why gaps always get closed, because the broker that they need to rebalance the books. So I don't need the heat map to go, there is liquidity that sits here, or it sits at this exact level. It's going to sit in fair value. There's loads of it. Obviously, you've got this slight compression here, fair value gaps, and I think it's one of the biggest inducement bunch of nonsense that is in the crypto market. Same as the order books and stuff. Everything can be spoofed, and you just don't know what's factually correct or not.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, They are, they can be useful to look at if if you just want to identify, maybe potential places instead of looking at the chart. But in terms of like looking for price to go directly into somewhere, you're better off just looking at the chart and judging it yourself, because no doubt I think anyway, the lines are definitely darkened in certain areas to try and get people to try and trade the price into there, and then obviously they just get used as bait, and then they get taken out.
Yeah. So I'd say from here, this is kind of probably level to hold on as we dip down.
Yeah, we've
got carrying going up. What's that? That's 82,350. Who else has asked questions? There's other questions. Blah blah blah. Listing. Do you think the CME gap? I think we're going up. As you see, we've done DXY, haven't we?
Yeah.
Just dominance is soul season. It's only a matter of time. What else have we got? Liquidity bands. Safe with crypto. 77,200. That's about where I've got mine. But I expect, I think up. That is. What do you think New York Open, Dave? Up or down?
Well, I think the fact that we're selling off into it, what we've seen recently, is normally we've pumped into it, haven't we? And then it's just been a sell-off. So I think we're probably, I would probably say up. I think we're going to see just up in general for the rest of March. But I think session-wise, I think up today. But it'd be interesting to see if that shifts now. Obviously, we are getting a sell-off into open, where the trend has generally been we pump into the open and then it just gets tanked. So it'd be interesting to see if that trend shifts now.
Oh, look at that. Bang on the point control.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
It doing really, I suppose. Hold on, let me get out some important charts. So let's see where the SPX is going to open, because that will be key. I know pre-market it looked grim. So we'll see how that opens. Obviously, close this box. It's perfection, Dave. Friday.
Yeah.
I learned the magic boxes from you when you used to do the CSC newsletters. the Bitcoin reviews.
Yeah.
Masterful. But it depends how this opens. I think,
well, it looks like it's going to open considerably down. What did it close out on Friday?
5769. 5770 basically.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna gap down. But we'll see.
There's a tiny gap here. Don't know.
Bash. So you just go on your settings and then you go on. So you change it to traditional, and then you select a fixed amount of margin, and then you can just put like 300, 400 in, and then that's what it will use each trade instead.
What's that for,
Dave? Bash wants to know how you use more margin in the Stonksy bot.
How's the Stonksy bot going?
It's going good. It's on. So I'll tell you where it's currently in an open trade, down from 86,400. I think it's still open anyway, if someone can confirm if it's still open. But yeah, it's currently in a short from 86,400. So if anyone would like to confirm it's still open or not, I don't know. I assume it may be still open. But yeah, it's that caught that on. I don't think it did anything else over the weekend, because it's still just following the hourly. But yeah, and I got a nice little short on that over the weekend.
Is it,
Yeah.
is it still on the hour time frame that it's being used on?
Yeah, it's still on the hourly. Still on the hourly. So yeah, I think SMFC is looking at a few ones, a few lower time frame strategies to do. So obviously there's more frequent trades to kind of wet the lips of everyone that wants more action. So yeah.
What Steve was saying, I remember the days when everyone used to reference Bitfinex's order books to see the direction of Bitcoin going. Yeah. But the thing is, what I find with the order books and the heat maps, why would they allow or give you such an easy open goal to trade if they were right every time? It's the same thing on with the news stuff when people go, if interest rates go down, then we're mega bullish and Bitcoin going to the moon. And then interest rates come out and it absolutely craps the bed.
Yeah.
All of this news is known in advance and it just gets front run. So it's the same with like the ETF and stuff when nothing happened whatsoever. And I think I also said, everyone was saying how strong alts were when Bitcoin was dropping the other week. And I did point out to people that last time we had a drop on Bitcoin and alts were strong, about a week or two later when Bitcoin started going down, alts went down like 40%. Crap themselves.
Yeah.
So I would much rather look at history and what's going to happen with history previously than projecting what's in the open domain with baiting people into positions.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of it is just spoofing, in it, because these people that put the sell walls in and the bids and stuff like that, as soon as price is trading into they'll just lift them. So say for instance Bitcoin's trading into a big massive sell wall. Obviously, then people see that sell wall and place short orders on.
Yeah.
They'll then lift them, and then people will get triggered into a short, and then price will just instantly just smash into the stop loss or the liquidation. And then the same way to the downside, for buy side.
Or magically the price gets there and then the sell walls that are there suddenly disappear.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Yeah.
Have you got your bell ready, Dave?
I have. My bell's right here. Yes, the trusty bell.
Get your bell out.
Aqua says, Justin, on the chart with the green box, you included the wick on top side, but not the downside. Can you explain why?
What's this on?
I don't know, Aqua.
What chart was it?
What chart was it, Aqua? What time frame, maybe?
So I'll just flick through so many charts at a time.
If you want to, Crypto Bash is perfect. Oh, very nice, very nice. Wiz is saying, what shitcoin should I long or short for open? Have a go at short and rare again. That thing is up another like 33% today, isn't it? That one. Okay, so he means this one that you're looking at. I'm guessing he means on the daily.
So the SPX, I look at. These are like gaps in between trading hours, which always get filled in. So if you look this morning on a lower time frame on GJ, the close on Friday versus the open, I can't remember exactly what it was. There's gaps left open in trading, so it's like almost acts like a CME gap. So it's something to be aware of. Here we go. SPX open down. SPX has shit the bed.
Yeah.
Bitcoin down. So it's whether we take out this low. I'll put an alert there so we can wait for that to go off. Gold is also going down.
And Bitcoin is doing nothing.
Bitcoin is staying static.
Oh.
Oh, it's up. There you
go. There we go.
Because that's the other thing to obviously be aware of. Is like it's conceivable that obviously we've had massive sell-off on SPX. How many trillions of capital has that kind of released or freed up?
Yeah,
I'd imagine a decent amount. Gold's coming down.
What is it? What even is the market cap of the SPX now? I haven't looked in ages. Reggie says I tried that on Rare on a 2x and got liquidated this morning. Yeah, that thing has moved absolutely insane the past 2 days. Where it says don't even. Funding rate is still nuts. Yes, if you're trying to short it, you're going to get charged an arm and a leg for the fees.
So December 31st, Dave.
Yeah.
2024 was at 52 trillion.
Woo! Wow. I think the last time I googled it, it was like 34 trillion. So that's how much it's gone up since the last time I checked the market cap of it.
Well, the thing is, so therefore, if you look at the all-time high and where we are currently trading,
yeah,
so it's 7.5% drop. So what's that? About 3 trillion.
Yeah, because it's probably around similar levels, weren't it, to where it dropped off compared to the 31st of December,
so
around that high.
3 trillion into crypto would do quite a bit of damage, wouldn't it?
It would. Oh yeah, that would. That would definitely repair a lot of the damage. No doubt that would do a good mend. I'm sure Sailor would love to get his hands on that.
The thing is,
in one candle.
Talking to my man Christian about it last night.
Yeah.
You look at there we go. SPX is dropping, and so it is.
Corn is dropping.
You say corn is dropping?
Corn, yeah.
Is this a new thing you're trading there?
Orange juice futures.
Mine get whatever. Did that get delisted?
What?
Orange juice futures.
No, I don't think so. Well, I think it's dropped massively. I think since Trump got in office.
Yeah.
I don't know about cocoa's another interesting one. Soul Season would take half of that. Wiz says. I might imagine that. Imagine just even 1 million of that going into Soul Season.
Yes.
That'd be gigapump.
That would make Justin a happy boy.
Yeah, it would make me a happy boy as well.
Yeah.
So, someone go and do it. Someone take one for the team and go and pump 7 figures into Soul Season.
God, SPX is getting absolutely body pumped.
Yeah. We are coming down now to test Friday lows, aren't we?
Yeah.
So maybe we have a sweep of that. Maybe that clears out the liquidity below Friday lows and then maybe provides the bounce.
Well, you've got potentially that monthly fair value gap there down at 5,651. There's nothing else then open on there. This is my range that I was looking at. Which is that kind of little void there.
I think what is ETH BTC doing it anymore? I haven't checked that.
I'll I've got all of these charts ready to
I'll
go.
tell you what, someone put. I seen a chart comparison as well of ETH, Bitcoin, and I'll get it up on my screen and we'll show it in a bit. And
Well, don't chuck it. I'll stop sharing, and you can chuck it on yours as well.
Yeah, sure. Let me get it up. And because I haven't actually looked at it on mine, it was just like a screenshot of someone's chart. So I want to see if it's correct or not. Yeah, so here's ETH Bitcoin, what it's doing. So at the moment, obviously been dropping off. What's new? But yeah, it's moved down to fill in a lot of that wick, hasn't it?
Your screen's not up, Dave, I don't think.
Is it not?
No. I can see. There it is.
There we go.
Yeah, so I had on ETH Bitcoin, there is a level at 0.022, which is kind of a back test level from, when's that? 25th of May 20. Of where it probably needs to go to. But there is nothing to me yet that suggests that ETH has bottomed versus Bitcoin, because it's just there's no high highs, high lows. It's just grind down into a pulp, basically.
Yeah, I think, and I mean, really as well, if when Bitcoin gets its next breakout, we're gonna see it lose value against it again. So even if it does repair some of the damage, it's probably gonna get tanked, isn't it? The next time Bitcoin breaks out.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I'm hoping for with dominance. So I was looking at somewhere between 60. Well, that wick that on dominance that went up the other week, it's not a fair, and 66%, or 66.89% to be exact.
Right.
Where I was kind of looking, and until something drastically happens to Bitcoin dominant, it's just going to be miserable, I think. This is sort of miserable. I think selling off is not very pleasant at all, is it?
No. Oh, this is the wrong one. That's why. There we go. Yeah, so this is what someone was showing. It was like a comparison, I think, between ETH, Bitcoin, and then Sol Bitcoin on the weekly as well, on the monthly, where we've obviously kind of had like this rounded top, haven't we?
Yeah.
And then is this maybe going to roll over back into here?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to do.
Yeah, which is exactly what ETH's done, isn't it? That at its markup, rounded top / consolidation, and then break downwards, and then down, and then.
Well, if you look at the Sol,
into the origin,
the Sol ETH chart, I had the level between 0.053 and 0.055 as the level that basically needs to hold.
Yeah.
And then Bitcoin, Solana Bitcoin, sorry. I had that coming down a bit lower, to basically retest the highs from January 23.
January 23. This one here. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like a little gap between on the weekly. I've got it. So from the bottom of the candle closes on the 6th of June.
Yeah.
And then the top of 9th of January, basically, there's a little gap there that, of where I think that it needs to hold, or else.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, you look at something like Sol, and in terms of outperformance, will it ever get a level of outperformance like it got on that when Trump launched? Because it just got an absolute big, massive green dildo up its ass, didn't it?
Yeah.
Particularly, obviously, you can see it on Sol Bitcoin here, but in terms of on the Sol chart itself, we got obviously just absolutely rattled while everything else was not really doing anything. I don't think, anyway. I don't think anything else was doing anything.
Yeah.
So
a bit of a recovery now on SPX is starting to bounce a bit.
Let's see. Let's go and have a look.
Bitcoin doing the same thing.
Okay. Oh yeah. Rare went again last night, didn't it? That was pretty crazy. What? Does anyone know exactly? Like, was this just a scam pump and just complete manipulation, or was there anything that actually caused this in terms of it getting the rocket up its ass? I imagine this one was just absolutely short squeezing the shit out of everyone trying to short it, because it had such a negative funding rate. It was unbelievable.
Have you got your eye on any altcoins, Dave?
Yeah, I'm still. So Aero's probably gonna. I think Aero is gonna be my main one. I'm gonna try and I'm gonna be building to hold for a potential next leg up. But I do kind of like. So Hype was. Let me get up. Where's Hype? Where is it? So I was kind of interested in Hype coming back into here.
I've got Hype charted, actually.
Yeah, and I wanted it to kind of come back deep into this little consolidation that it had and kind of move towards testing lows, because obviously apart from that, we've not got anything really.
I have 2 levels for you, Dave.
Go on.
If we don't hold this level.
Yeah.
So the exchange listing was 11 cents.
Right.
What I understand. And then it wasn't a pre-sale, but I know someone that is deeply involved with Hype and knows a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But almost like what was the pre-sale price of that one? Like that was 4 cents.
Oh, so, 4 cents.
Sorry, $4. That was.
Oh right. Oh, I was gonna say.
Sorry.
Hell.
I was thinking of Bitcoin.
What a return that would have been.
Yes, no, that was a slight faux pas on my part. Apologies.
Look at that. Would have been 92,000%.
Sorry, that was. I got your hopes and dreams up there, Dave.
Oh.
So yeah, personally, I've got alerts to look at around $11.
Right. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah.
Just because obviously we've retraced that pump.
Yeah.
There's some gaps to fill in from probably $19.60 down to $15.35. But unless we regain that 15.35, still looks to me that it's going to carry on bleeding down.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, really, it kind of never really got like the typical new launch pattern, did it? Because obviously, like, it launched and then it had this tiny bit of consolidation here and then just went. and then held up. Normally, you have something go like this, something launches, and then you just get that distribution down pretty much straight away, and then a bottom off, and then if it's got any fuel behind it, then it goes. Where this just kind of launched, just carried on going up forever, and then kind of held quite well. But then obviously now we're seeing that distribution down. It just went on for ages instead of like initially you get like it happened pretty much straight away.
Also, from what the very, very limited information that or my limited abilities, should I say more than anything, it's supposed to be like a great project, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah. I mean, in terms of trading perps and stuff like that, it seems like it's pretty much got the liquidity to trade on it as though you would on just the standard sex, really.
Yes.
Isn't
it where like a lot of the some of the not naughty trades, but the heavy margin, high leverage trades that were being posted, and then you was getting pumps like an hour or so later in the last couple of weeks, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's where it was being done on Hyperliquid. They was doing it. The same address was doing it again before.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same address was doing it, and that's all on Hype. And at one point, obviously their position size was like a combined like 200 million using 50x. So
it was ballsy.
It seems really good. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think Wiz knows a fair bit about it, and Wiz is in the chat. Wiz knows everything. You know more detail. I mean, I don't know what it's like in terms of having like applications and stuff built on it. I assume maybe it's good for that as well. But I mean, in terms of perps trading, and obviously that probably just translates to overall just general swapping of tokens. It seems like it's maybe the competitor against centralized exchanges, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't know too much else about it apart from it maybe is a good one for maybe the next cycle in terms of accumulating at bear market lows.
Yes.
Because obviously it's coming quite late in the day on it.
We're not going to do that though, Dave, are we? Because we're
no.
Bitcoin maxis.
Yeah, no, I won't be doing that. Maybe a small couple of % allocation, but nothing. Yeah, nothing. No, it wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't even do. It wouldn't even be more than 5%. It will just be fully Bitcoin. We're saying 45% yield on Binance is the rare catalyst. What's catalyzing that rare move apparently? What do you think of Source Swap? It's like the Uniswap of Hedera network. Has a low market cap. I know nothing about the Hedera network. Nothing at all. Hedera is H-bar, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know nothing about it, but we can have a look at it, I suppose. Let's see. Source. What's the ticker? Is it going to be Source? I assume it would make sense for it to be Source. Surely it's Source. Source Swap. There it is. Let's see.
Oh dear, Bitcoin's dropping.
Okay. So obviously this was piggybacking H-bar's pump. And then distributing back down. Yeah, it looks like it's maybe going to come back into this accumulation that it had. It's nearly there. But let's see how that translates over to H-bar. So where's H-bar gone? So yeah, I mean, yeah, it looks like maybe it's gonna maybe a little bit more to go on it. But I have no thoughts on it because I don't use H-bar. But I assume it just translates to H-bar as well equals sourced as well. So
that's something I was actually asking the other day. Obviously, we're still quite early in the whole crypto or blockchain world, how many people actually use crypto in the real world? That's what
I'd
like to know.
I don't know, to be
And
honest.
therefore, is it all just a fugazi and doesn't actually?
Yeah, I mean, I don't use it at all. I've used crypto debit cards where I've paid in like USDC and stuff like that, but then you just sort of look at it, don't you? Unless you're obviously you're trying to use it in a way to avoid any sort of traceability. Like, what is the difference between just paying with USDC and just withdrawing it, and then paying with pounds? Unless you're trying to do something that you shouldn't be doing, obviously to avoid taxes and stuff like that. Then
We
maybe
wouldn't do things like that, Dave, would we?
no, of course not.
It's outrageous.
Yeah, but it may, obviously there's a good argument for doing that, and then potentially other stuff in terms of paying for things with crypto. But I've never really used anything. I've never really ever used that many protocols, to be honest. I've only ever really used swapping and perps protocols in terms of like looking at DeFi. I've never used like lending services on Aave or ever really provided liquidity or anything. Staking, yeah, but I don't.
I'm just flicking through altcoin charts. I cannot believe how the only chart so far that I can see that looks semi-decent and obviously missed the pump now, but is auction.
Yeah.
The rest of them just look like an absolute bag of drivel.
It's shocking, isn't it, really, how badly they've retraced?
Mate, it is. I've not looked because I didn't want to put myself through the pain and suffering. But, jeez, it's bad.
Yeah, it looks really bad. I mean, let's have a look at this. I mean, look at Say. Say's now completely lost that macro level.
Yeah.
And is now into just working into inefficiency down towards like 16 cents to 14 cents kind of ish.
13, 14 cents.
Yeah.
12 and a half cents probably.
Yeah, it's just got there's just nothing there. Like that's just all thin move. There's nothing. So I mean, even that, you look at that, and now that's on the full breakdown. Like,
if you look
have you seen Jasmine? Fuck me, that looks fucked. Jasmine looks actually fucked for like maybe another like 50% drop.
Let's have a look at Jasmine.
It's maybe gonna try and hold on, maybe, but like that again, that was just full breakdown of that macro support level that it had been holding.
Yeah, that's got if I was gonna look at this, I would be looking at, and I apologise in advance anyone that holds Jasmine, because this might not be very pleasant.
I think it's going to drop down towards 0.0087, something like that.
Yeah. So I've drawn a box between on the weekly. There was a compression zone from like June 22 through to July 22, August, and then you had the underside of that was like 13th of February.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of range. So I've got 0.0073 up to 0.085.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks that's. I mean, you look at that, and that is already done. So if you go from the December high, already done 76% sell off already. And then, you've potentially got it dropping another 47% potentially, because there's literally just nothing there. So that would be 87% full retrace, and then it will be back at obviously the start of 2024 prices.
But the thing is, there's so many things that are on my charts anyway. The only one that looks semi-alright is OM.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that thing just refuses to go down, doesn't it?
It's so bad.
It's obviously got a lot of money holding it up.
But you look at like Sui. If this doesn't hold this level, it probably comes back down to $1.40, $1.37.
Yeah, I was looking at 164 potentially. But yeah, you could. Oh yeah, you could definitely see it going down there.
Wow. Are there anyone in the chat that has got any tokens that they go, this looks like it's gonna do really well? Because I can't see much personally.
Do make sure you all drop a like on the stream as well, and if you're new, subscribe. We got Wiz basically just talking to himself in the chat, so let's give him a bit of engagement.
Said
actually, yeah, ZRO looks horrendous, doesn't it?
I have been buying, and it continues to go down.
In the telecoms world, I know that a famous Spanish telco uses Link to a small degree. So that was in relation to actual people using it. But
was that real life application of crypto? Yeah.
Yeah. But so that was from Wiz, mostly around IoT use cases. Because OM is full of Middle Eastern cash. Yeah, just that thing, you just don't want to bet against it, do you? Like, just any point in time, it will just pull like a mad candle, and just someone will just pump loads of cash into it at market.
But you look at Velo. That's another one that is from its highs.
Yeah,
that's down 70%.
It's insane, isn't it? I mean, what? It's. I mean, yeah. This is ZRO, isn't it? I mean, at some point it will bottom off, won't it? Because this has got good backing as well, hasn't it itself?
Yeah.
So you would imagine at some point this will bottom off as well. But it's pretty much just into its launch candle, isn't it now? I'm guessing that was its launch candle. I mean, I imagine it launched on Binance when it launched on everything else. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. Maybe this wasn't its launch candle.
Yeah. But the good thing is, do you remember? I remember doing charts weeks and weeks, or maybe even months ago now, and for the meme coins. And I remember saying about WIF going down to like my entry box was between 30 cents and 40 cents.
Yeah.
And we're now back there.
Yeah, so WIF, I was looking at WIF last night on stream. It wasn't this chart, it was this chart. Yeah, the MEXC chart. Yeah, it's right in there, isn't it? I mean, yeah, you look at that. It's absolutely crazy, isn't it? I mean, they all look like this, though, don't they? Most memes now. I mean, let's see, maybe let's pick another one.
Brett. Look at Brett.
Yeah, I mean, look at Popcat. Fuck me. I mean, that's on the MEXC chart as well, so you'd have to go on. You're gonna be at a point where you have to start going on to bloody Dex Screener to try and look at potential levels. Brett? Let's see. Brett. Oh yeah, Brett's down there, isn't it? Like, Brett's down there, kind of do or die.
But the thing is, with the amount of tokens there are we now at that phase where things are just going to die?
Well, yeah, I mean,
a massive clear out of the market.
You look at these and you think, how on earth would these ever get even close back to the all-time high?
Yeah.
I mean, is Brett going to do a 7x?
Well, the thing is, my
Really, you'd be looking for them, and this is something that I've talked about on stream. I think I used Popcat as a good example, but you could probably use most of them. Yeah, they probably will get a pump at some point, but if anything, it will just be like a macro lower high, and then back down, maybe. I don't know.
You look at the total charts, just say it all really, and the total 3. It's hard looking at anything outside of total, really Bitcoin and total 1. It's just no strength anywhere. There's not, apart from a couple of charts that I'll just flick through. Don't get me wrong, it's not. You wouldn't want to be short in here.
Sol's in trouble. Sol's in big trouble now. Looks like it's in big trouble, doesn't it?
So
it's never closed below 125 on the daily since
it's
come up.
I have Sol coming down to. It's got a form. If you go on the weekly, Dave,
yeah,
on the Binance chart, or it don't really matter. But if you go on the Binance chart, I've got it coming down to $112.
Yeah, it's that retest of them weekly closes.
Yeah, so there's a big void in price where we obviously was closing the weeklies at 120.28.
Yeah,
and then we was close, and then resistance on the weekly back in December 23 was that 112. So I think we need to form that base.
Yeah,
possibly liquidate and then go up. But if that doesn't hold, then you're potentially looking at $75.
Yeah, that's what I've been looking at. I had 100 mapped out as well because it's obviously like a nice round number in it, psychological level, and that was where it held right before the impulse went as well.
And then the next level after that's around about $50, $55.
Yeah.
Which is tragic. But Bitcoin's dropping.
Yeah, it's not a very good candle, that is it? Look at that on the daily.
No.
Right, so SPX now is coming in to, so maybe potentially one of the only silver linings you can see at the moment is it's coming in now to liquidate in Friday lows. It's very, very close.
There is another level on the monthly. There is on the monthly candle. Once it gets to $5,651.62, that will close the monthly fair value gap.
Right.
So I would say it's improbable that we don't close that now.
Mm-hmm.
It's too close to not.
Yeah, well, there goes the Friday lows. Just took them.
Yeah.
So coming down, maybe another 15 points, something like that, to your level.
And then you've got the weekly fair value gap that sits at 5636.27. But now it's got one hell of a rescue mission to try and do to recover the 200 moving average.
Yeah.
Grim is what I would say.
And yeah, we are obviously pulling Bitcoin down with it as well. But yeah, everything. I mean, It's absolutely crazy, isn't it?
Brutal. Brutal, savage, and yeah, not necessarily surprising.
Yeah.
But I thought we'd possibly. God damn. That's another Bitcoin. Jesus. It's another 5% daily candle. It's like so far.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a case to come down and just liquidate this February low. I don't know.
Yeah.
Currently, looking like it's going to do the weekend low, but you're really kind of picking at straws, aren't you? You're just trying to find any sort of case. Okay, if we liquidate that low, maybe that's it. If we liquidate that low, maybe that's it. It's kind of just like
so the 4 hour would need to hold 80,444. Or yeah, it's a good night. I thought we was gonna get a bit of positive, but it's just that it's just miserable. Anyway, here's what it is.
Yeah, that's it. But keep an eye out. And the thing you got to remember is, it is only Monday, isn't it? And we are obviously coming off the back of a stock market dump as well. So there's still plenty of time for it to turn around this week. But yeah, at the moment, not looking so good. I'm just keeping an eye on this to see what SPX is going to do now. Yeah.
It's kind of filling in at the bottom. We need to actually. I've got a box between 5,667.5 and 5,701 that needs to be filled in.
Yeah.
On the daily. Yeah, on the daily that needs to be filled in.
I think I've seen a lot of people talking about this as well before. I think I don't know. I don't look at this at all, but I've seen a lot of people saying that there was some sort of bullish divergence on the daily. But I never ever look at that sort of thing.
It's all a scam.
So I'm guessing this is because I no doubt a lot of people have probably seen this on CC. I'm guessing this is it. On the RSI here is this is the bullish divergence. But yeah, personally, I never look at divergences like that. But I imagine a lot of people may be seeing similar on Twitter before.
Yeah. Well, we're close to.
Let's see, what's the Mag 7 doing? Jesus Christ. So Google's down 4%, Tesla's down 7.8%, Amazon down 2.6%, Microsoft down 2%, Meta down nearly 4%, Apple down nearly 4%, and Nvidia is down just over 3%. So the Mag 7 is taking absolute beating today. MicroStrategy down 11%.
Which is basically Bitcoin.
Yeah, pretty much just directional stock market Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there we go.
Fun and games, Dave.
Yeah. I mean, somehow ETH is still 1.6% up today. No doubt that will get erased pretty soon if we carry on this way. Tell you what else is falling out of its range. Litecoin completely has fell out of its range. It's now actually tested the underside of it. now tested the underside of it and rejected.
It's just another dinosaur coin, isn't it?
So that looks like I'd mapped out $80, which would completely fill in that liquidation wick and come in for a retest. So maybe $80 on Litecoin. Don't know.
It's another dino coin, isn't it? What's XRP doing and things like that?
XRP's been held up. Well, it was. Let me get it up. XRP. Yeah, so it's actually being held up. Still, to be fair, it's still at the same price. Judging off what we've just said about ones, altcoins that have retraced, it's actually still at the same price it was on the 1st of December.
Yeah, so I was looking at. So it's holding just over $2 on the weekly.
Yeah.
I know when you just draw stuff and you can't even remember why you've drawn it, but it seems to be holding up okay.
Yeah. I was maybe looking for like a pullback into like kind of like 150 down to like 130-ish.
I have got
anywhere in that kind of zone.
Magic Justin box. Here we go. I can make sense of this now. So I've got a box that's drawn from on the weekly, the highs from the 26th of April, week of the 26th of April 21 to the the bottom side of the candles on December 24. That's kind of my range of the retest. So $1.56 up to $2.08 to hold on the weekly.
I'm just fixing my camera. It zoomed in on my face again on its own. I don't know why it does that. I'll just fix my camera. Won't be a sec. So I mean that looks like it's pretty much one of the last to go. That isn't it? Like it's the one that's held up the best, really, when you look at it, and it's kind of the last one that needs to get that pushed down. Come on, what is going on here?
What's Eastern time? Oh, he's such.
Right. Let me
needs to hold $1,930 or good night. It's just so aggressive, isn't it? The sell-off. Absolutely.
They've completely destroyed all trust in crypto. All the work done to legitimize crypto move away from the scams and rogues was completely undone when Trump got in charge. No, to be fair, crypto's been scamming the whole time. Trump just happened to launch the biggest two. That was it. Like, you got to think like Pump Fun was, Pump Fun. Like that was around long before Trump. It's just so happened that he's launched the biggest two out of them all. If we hit previous high, does that mean the bull run is over? I don't believe so, no. What needs to occur that Bitcoin decouples from stocks? I mean,
the thing is, it's all sentiment based. So at the moment, if you imagine outside of Bitcoin, right, if you just say Bitcoin, it's still at the speculative end of the investment or where people will put investments.
Yeah.
So you obviously got the bonds and all of that kind of crap, and then gold. Then you've got the indexes, then individual stocks, and then you've got the more speculative assets like crypto. And then I won't even talk about altcoins. And until you've got, you basically, people are not going to go risk on with speculative assets unless they've got a surplus of cash. And if they're rolling in money, then they're going to go and buy. The same as we all do in our own personal lives. We generally don't go and buy like lavish items before we go and buy a house or the things that you actually need. And it's the same with the stock market. So that there will be no decoupling because it's intrinsically linked. But you're going to need surplus cash to be able to rotate from, or not even to rotate, but to spill into more highly speculative assets.
Yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Ross. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's it. It's what are we doing?
What does Ross think of the market? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
What does Spud say? Give us some positive news, Spud. Well, the Asia session low has just been taken out on Bitcoin. So
yeah, it looks like as well. I mean, so that's gone. Potentially, we are going to come into take. You may as well just take the February low at this point.
Yeah,
not even that. It's not even that far away.
No. Which would then take us or dip into the next part of the monthly fair value gap. And then you've got the CME gap down at 77.2.
Yeah.
Do we take out February low, Dave? Yes or no?
I think we probably do, yeah. It seems determined, doesn't it? Because we actually... so let's see what SPX is doing. We're still around them levels, to be fair, after it's taken Friday's low. Bitcoin seems like it's on a mission, doesn't it, to go down there. So,
if I'm putting my positive pants on, Dave, I'm going to say it's not necessary. If we're going to put in the weekly low or a month, what does the monthly candle look like on? So,
the monthly candle looks fucking horrific. Could have stated that. I mean, the weekly candle. That's the wrong one. What am I looking at here? Oh yeah.
So the bottom.
Jesus.
I'm going to say, Dave, that let me just measure this move, 1.3%.
Spud says down in the dumps right now, but where there is volatility, there is always opportunity. I launched ELOC with a low push community vibe, and it did not even bond. Half Elon, half Grok. Yeah, I think that's the state of memes at the moment, isn't it? I imagine things getting off pump fun or are even much lower percentage now. Things that are actually getting off pump fun than they was before.
Yeah,
because you take away people's capital and then you take away speculation, don't you? So, if people haven't got the capital, then things are going to really struggle.
So I would say from here, looking at the SPX, if it's going to hold and bounce, because we've opened another gap now on the SPX.
Yeah.
If we're going to hold, it's going to be somewhere between 5,636 and 5,651, which so the bottom one of those is the weekly fair value gap, and then you've got the monthly fair value gap that's slightly higher. Now, if that moves down, it's just less than 1%, that would enable Bitcoin to sweep the February low.
Yeah.
it wouldn't be the worst thing to possibly put in that candle. Whether we then sweep close the CME gap. If it was me, I wouldn't close it, because leave it open. That just to create that extra bit of fuckery, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. It's all psychological, isn't it?
Yeah.
You leave people just gagging to try and bid that zone, or like we talked about before, you leave people absolutely gagging to bid low 70s, high 60s. Because the one thing you need in markets, you need FOMO, don't you? And you need FOMO capital. If everyone gets the bids in here, then where's the FOMO capital to then really start fueling all this push higher? The better idea would be is to leave people's bids unfilled down here, and then rip it back up, and then use them as FOMO capital to either push us back into the range, or from the range low towards the range high, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, whether that comes off is a different story, innit? But psychologically, that's kind of the thing you want. Is you need people who are got stables on the sidelines, absolutely itching to drop the money in. Where at the moment, people aren't really itching to drop the money in, aren't they? If anyone's got stables, they're dying to get this opportunity down here.
Yeah.
Where if you run it without giving everyone this opportunity, then you force people to buy back higher. So
yeah.
But
it depends how much the purpose positions are open. What's dominance doing? Is that rising? That's kind of just sitting there. To me, if it was me doing it, I would probably sweep February low, leave the CME gap open.
Yeah.
A little bit. Or if you are going to do as expected, or the other option is you just literally capitulation wick and just take everyone out.
Yeah.
On purpose. Anyone that's long in, just capitulation wick and just take everyone.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you look out there as well, and some things aren't even that bad today. You've got things like Doge, which they're only down 1% today from yesterday. When you've got things like ADA and Sol, which are down 4%. So not everything is getting bashed like usual. There was a couple of weeks ago, if Bitcoin was down 1%, everything would be down 5+% across the board, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Where it's not like an overall bashing now, it's kind of like selective. Obviously, it would get to a point, if Bitcoin dropped another couple of percent, then yeah, everything would get bashed. But it's not like an overall bashing now, it's kind of a bit like selective.
But the thing is, we're going to get the good thing with a move and a candle formation like this. You do, if you run fast into demand, then you might get that V-shape recovery. So it might not be the worst thing, but as it currently stands, it looks like utter garbage.
Yeah.
And kind of why I'm pretty pleased I'm not trading it and just waiting.
I mean, the thing is, there's still time to save it, and like you said, there's still time to save this daily. We could leave this as this would be, so if we go to the weekly, this would potentially maybe just be a sweep of last week's low, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And then going up, which then you've got plenty of time then to move up throughout the week if the weekly low is going to be put in just by sweeping last week's low, which at the moment it looks maybe like we're bouncing, because you obviously watch these Asia session lows and highs a lot, don't you?
Yes.
Obviously it looks like maybe just maybe it is going to be a case of bouncing here.
Well, so The SPX made a low and has bounced a bit. So what did we get to? 79.3.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
We at some point we're going to get either a massive capitulation to the downside, or I think we'll get a 10, 15, 20% candle up.
Yeah. Let's have Sailor come in with his 21 billion. Why does my camera keep doing this? I don't get why it keeps. Why does it just keep zooming in on its own? Look at it. What's it doing?
People are trying to get your identity, Dave. That's what it is.
At this point, they can have it. I'm willing to sell it to the highest bidder. The chat is full of ELOC holders now.
Is that that's Ross's? Yeah, I don't think it's probably the best time to be launching meme coins. It's just
there we go. It keeps zooming in, zooming out. What is going on here? It's so weird. We got ITT saying, can we all agree that Solana would have been minimum $500 if Millennium didn't launch? No, it wouldn't.
Don't agree. The chart goes where the chart needs to go.
Yeah.
I've said it many times.
I think, yeah. If anything, maybe Trump would be in a better position than it is at the moment. But I think that would probably be it. Like, maybe that would be in a slightly better position because obviously you wouldn't have that whole panic that happened and stuff like that. It would have distributed down anyway, but maybe it wouldn't be in this sorry. I mean, let's have a look at Trump. $10. Like it would have done some serious distribution down anyway, but maybe it wouldn't have gone that deep. Maybe that's the only thing you can say. I don't know. It definitely shook it a bit, like, but I mean that is. So Trump is currently now 86% down.
Nice.
That is horrific, isn't it?
It's not great.
It's not great at all. Where's Melania? Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. That is so bad, isn't it? So Melania is now 95% down. Yeah, so there we go.
There's not much I can really say to either of them, Dave. It's just
no. There's nothing you can say, is there?
I think
no. The one thing you can say is no sign of recovery. That thing will never ever recover. Trump can obviously do something about his own coin to sort of give it a rocket up its arse, can't he? But Melania, there is not a chance you are going to get consumer confidence back in that piece of shit. No way.
Yeah.
You need to turn it off in the settings, do I? Why does it keep doing it? I don't. There's nothing in the settings, I don't think. General. No, there is literally nothing in the settings that I really don't know why it's doing it. But yeah, there we go. We'll just stick with it for now because we are going to be going off stream in a minute.
Just trying to find this article that I was saying to you about the 7 trillion.
We've got Yonksy saying, hey, happy take profit. See you guys back from crazy Visa and jungle CTOS boarding. Yes, Yonksy, how we doing? Hope you had a good weekend, mate. Yeah, you was on the hunt to extend your visa, wasn't you? Out in Thailand. So, yeah, I'm guessing you got that sorted, mate. And, yeah, we got Spud saying full porting now. Full porting, Melania. Make sure everyone does drop a like on the stream as well. And if you happen to be new, do subscribe and come back every day.
So here you go, Dave. I found it. So
Yeah.
by 2025, the US Treasury will need to refinance around 7 trillion of maturing debt. This coincides with a period of when bond yields are once again on the rise, further complicating the situation. So this is what I was looking at the other day, and it was saying about that's why they might be trying to collapse everything to get better terms on the refinancing of that 7 trillion.
Yeah, it's insane, isn't it? Insane. But yeah, I think we'll end the stream there. I mean, it seems like an interesting point to leave it, leading into tomorrow's stream. Are we going to get a bounce on Bitcoin? It's trying, isn't it? I think it's trying to hold that last week low at the moment, isn't it? So we'll see if it does or if it goes. Yeah, no worries, mate. Go on. Or if it goes for February's low, maybe.
Yeah.
I do suspect we will get a bounce if we sweep this February low.
If you look at the SPX, it's got within 0.5% or so, it's got the weekly and the daily fair value gaps closed. And then there is a little void in price, a bit lower. So I say personally that we come down a little bit more and fill them gaps.
Yeah, which would line up with Bitcoin, wouldn't it? Sweeping February low.
Yeah, which is also into the which also then dips into the monthly fair value gap in Bitcoin as well.
Yeah, so maybe, just maybe we're seeing pain at the start of the week and then maybe easing up into the end of the week.
We're going to get a green weekly candle.
Yes, we're going to get a green March as well.
Yes.
Going to get a green March.
Send it.
Yeah.
Send it. All right, in which case...
Mate, big thank you for joining again. Obviously,
pleasure as always.
I'm sure everyone appreciates you taking your time to join us every Monday. So I know I appreciate it anyway. So yeah, big thank you for joining again, mate. I look forward to these Mondays.
Yeah.
And yeah, make sure everyone drops Justin a big thank you in the chat for taking 2 hours out of his week to join us on Mondays. And yeah, we'll look forward to next Monday to see what happens next Monday.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it always tends to. I mean, the fact that we set these up to do it on a Monday has proved to be a masterstroke of actual timing, because we all seem to kind of go into the week on a massive shitstorm, basically.
Yeah, it's definitely the best day to do it, isn't it? Yeah. It's definitely turned out for the best day to do it, for sure.
Cool. All right, have a good weekend, all.
Right, thanks, mate.
And I will catch you during the week, though.
Yes, I will definitely speak to you some point throughout the week, if not today.
Perfect.
Right. Cheers, mate. See you later. Bye. Right. So that was Justin. So I'm just going to do a quick little 2-minute roundup of the stream before we end it. And yeah, just to obviously cover what we've covered today. So obviously we've got Stonksy on the 1 hour on Bitcoin, still in the red background. And obviously for those of you that are on Stonksy, you will have caught this on the bot, which is absolutely fantastic, down from 86,400-ish, with the background still open on the 1 hour, which means that the trade will still be open on the bot as well as we head to the local lows, maybe around the February lows of 78,300. But yeah, just currently took last week's low. So next area of interest will be down here. But yeah, Stonksy continues to catch this downtrend on Bitcoin. Over on ETH, I think we'll maybe look at the 1-day charts on them. Obviously, we've lost, as of yesterday, we've lost the $2,100 level on the daily. And we've came up and rejected from it again today. So this is something we've been looking at on stream. If we lost this level, which is macro SR, then maybe we're en route for a deeper drop. But this would have to line up with Bitcoin dropping lower. If we hold Bitcoin, even if we swept this low, then maybe ETH would be in a good position to reclaim that, in a scenario of Bitcoin strength. So something to keep an eye out on for sure. XRP is still holding up extremely well. No sign of a breakdown just yet, but if it does lose this level, we are probably going to speed up that distribution down. Solana is really starting to test demand now, obviously losing that $125 level at the moment. Something that it's not done for a good long time. So if we do, potentially down towards 112, 100, or again, in the event of Bitcoin going another 10, 15% down, maybe we head into the 80s, who knows. Doge is one that we covered last night as well, as we were looking at. Maybe, just maybe, we get another push down, but again, market dependent. If Bitcoin pushes up from here or puts in its weekly low today or tomorrow, we may see everything rebound quite hard. Sui was one that we covered. Again, another one, maybe got a bit of traveling to do down towards finding demand. But yeah, at the moment, it's broken below what had turned into support, now back to being resistance. Hype, obviously not really too much to go off, but obviously Justin let us know that he'd found out that $11 was a buying price for investors pre-launch. So that maybe drift that back towards that. And then obviously we do have this range which acted as consolidation before the impulse move upwards. What else have we looked at today? We've obviously covered a bit of FX as well. Looking at a bit of FX. This rare token that we looked at on yesterday's stream is still going strong. Absolutely flying the past 2 days. And we have covered some troublesome ones such as ZRO dropping into unknown areas in terms of price action. Jasmy being another one, dropping into this potential running of this thin move that it left behind with no real historical points of where the price may find support. So yeah, a potential another big drop on Jasmy coming as it lost macro support. Obviously, if it regains that, then we can maybe start to look higher. And another one in the similar situation is Say. Again, lost high time frame support with not really much there until we get down towards 16 cents, down towards 13, 14 cent region. But that's pretty much it. We'd obviously looked at SPX a lot as well. We need to see this start to ease up to give Bitcoin some breathing room and allow it to push back to the upside. But at the moment, we are pushing further down on SPX after taking last week's low. If we see this start to reverse to the upside, Bitcoin has a decent amount of breathing room then to launch an attack back towards, potentially 90k, 93k. But until then, yeah, we need to see SPX start to hold up. But again, as you can see, another really nice trade caught by Stonksy on the 1 hour on SPX, all the way down from all-time highs as well. That is down from pretty much the all-time high to the current level. So yeah, really nice trade caught by Stonksy there. And that's pretty much everything. Obviously, good discussion point on Mondays with Justin. Really good things to look at from the previous week and over the weekend, and just the main talking points of the market. So big thank you for joining today. Appreciate you all coming. Make sure you drop a like on the stream and subscribe if you're new. And yeah, make sure you click them links in the description. If you aren't a member of Stonksy yet, you'll find that it's the second link in the description. Get full indicator access, Discord access, and access to the trading bot. Like I mentioned before, it's caught this really nice move on Bitcoin. Completely automated as well. Users don't have to do anything. It opens and closes trades on behalf of users. So yeah, this would have been done automatically for you and caught a really nice move down from $86,400-ish. And yeah, if you're looking for anywhere to take a trade, do make sure you sign up to BLOFIN. It's the best non-KYC exchange out there. I'll put the link in the chat as well. But also, you'll find that as the first link in the description. So make sure you check them both out. Sign up to Stonksy, sign up to BLOFIN. And yeah, I'll catch you all for tomorrow's stream. Obviously, we're doing them at 1:30 UTC time. 12 UTC time at the moment, while the stock market is open at 1:30 UTC time until UK time goes into BST later this month. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you all tomorrow to see what we're looking at in terms of price action. See you later.